In the last lesson, we discussed the concept of answering the highlighted content questions. In this lesson, we would apply the approach on a GRE-like example. Before we do so, you may want to pause the video and revise the approach. Let us now solve a GRE-like example. Here is the question, and here is our mind map approach. We have seen this passage in earlier lessons, and this is the mind map we came up with. Our first bite was the first sentence of the passage. What did it do? It raised a question around whether this scientist can be considered a remarkable one. Our second bite is this part of the passage. What did this bite do? It developed a case for yes as the answer, as in why this scientist should be considered a remarkable one. Then we saw a contrast trigger, followed by what we can consider the last bite of the passage. And what this does is to develop a case for no as the answer, as in why this scientist cannot be considered a remarkable one. We completed the first 4 steps, and now we must go about reading the question stem. We notice that this is a highlighted content question. The question stem is about how the author of the passage would describe the highlighted term. The author of the passage quotes this specialist here to suggest that our scientist worked best serving in this highlighted role rather than something else. It's a pure inference-based question. We must use the answer choices to our advantage and go by elimination. There is no reference to this label applied by this specialist as baseless, so baselessly is a comfortable deal breaker here. This role has been talked about from the point of view of our scientist being good at it, not from the point of view of receiving recognition, so incorrect. Besides, nowhere in the passage there is any comparison between this role and the role of our scientist as an astronomer. Therefore, answer choice B is really bad. To say that this role would be described as the sole capacity in which our scientist made a lasting contribution would be exaggerated. Yes, our scientist was really good at this role, but this sole capacity bit is a deal breaker here. On similar lines, to say that this role was the primary source of our scientist's enduring fame cannot be established. This involves assumption and exaggeration. Answer choice C correctly describes the highlighted term as a correct description of our scientist's strongest competency. See, the passage says that our scientist worked best serving in the highlighted role. Therefore, the highlighted role can be correctly described as our scientist's strongest competency. C is the correct answer choice.